Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to our Sunday session of Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and we are here to journey through chapter 12 of our wonderful book reading, The Power, written by Rhonda Byrnes. Of course, we all know, if you've been following along with us, you know that this is the second book in the Secret series. First book, of course, obviously being The Secret, which is the original Great Secrets of Life. It reveals the great secret of life. And then now book 2, The Power, which it puts an even greater force at your fingertips. Okay. The power we have identified is love, and love is very transformative. Love is the ultimate push and driving force, almost like the battery pack of the universe, okay, of the almighty, the supreme being, in infinite intelligence. It is the reason behind every single thing that has happened, is happening, and will ever happen. And those things that exist now, you know, what happens around us, the wind blowing, sun shining, moon lighting, you know, trees swaying, all fueled by love. Okay. Everything that was created fueled by love. You fueled by love. So what this book is showing us is how to take the power that we have been given, that is in our makeup, right, in our DNA, in our blueprint, and how to grab that and utilize that to draw in and manifest the things that we desire in this life. But first, we have to really, really, really choose love every time. We got to choose love every time. Even when other things try to speak louder, we have to be determined. Number one, we have to cultivate and practice the choice of love, right? We got to do that, whether it's with ourselves first and foremost, and then outwardly, right? To others, to strangers, to our loved ones, within our marriages, our jobs, you know, outdoors, nature, Mother Nature, all of those things. So we're learning how to utilize that in every area of our life, for our health, our relationships, ourselves, you know, society. So today we are going into chapter 12, which talks about the power and life. The power and life. Now, last week, we talked about the power and you, okay? How the power affects you and benefits you, and how the lack of the power, again, which is love, could affect you as well. So we talked about those things, and some of the nuggets that we took away from that were as follows. As you already know, when it comes down to any book that Rhonda Byrnes has written, she always has those anecdotes, those takeaways per chapter that you can kind of sum up to justify. I mean, to just round up what we learned in that chapter. So here are the points of power for last week's chapter, The Power and You. Point number 1. Everything has a frequency. Everything. And whatever you're feeling is bringing everything into your life that's on a similar frequency to you. So at any point when things are drawing to you, no longer can we blame anything outside of ourselves. Okay. Yes, things are done by other people. Yes, people do this, people do that. They say things or whatever the case. But understand that nothing attracts to you unless something in you is attracting it. Okay. So, and oftentimes the situations, the people, the events, whatever the case that occurs, it's occurring as a reflection of what we're emitting. Okay. And a lot of times, we really don't like to admit that. We really do not like to admit the fact that what draws to us is what comes from us. Now, it may not be in the same form, but it's in the same element, the same frequency, the same vibration. So if we want to change what draws to us, we got to change what frequency we're emitting into the universe. Okay. The next point, life is responding to you. Life is communicating with you. Everything you see, every sign, color, person, object, everything you hear, every circumstance and event are on your frequency. If it were not on your frequency, it wouldn't be in your vision. It wouldn't be in front of you. It wouldn't be playing out around you. All of those things wouldn't happen. Even down to, I was looking outside of my office window just now, and I saw a butterfly just fluttering around. Had I not been on the frequency of the butterfly, I wouldn't have seen it. I would have missed it. You know what I mean? So that's why when things are made evident for you to see, to experience, to feel, even signs, whatever the case, to hear, then that means that you are on the frequency of that thing to hear, see, experience that thing, right? So now, when that thing shows itself to you, the question to ask is, okay, so what is that? What does that mean for me? Why was that on the frequency of me, and what am I to get out of that? Of course, there are going to be some things that is not, they don't have to be so deep, but at the end of the day, it causes us to be way more aware of what is happening around us, and not just be oblivious to the activity that the universe is moving at, the pace that the earth is moving on. You know what I mean? We can be involved with it and including ourselves in the process, in the flow of motion and movement and frequency when we were more aware. So this allows us to be more aware of those things. Okay. Next point, when you are happy, when you're feeling happy and you keep feeling happy, then only happy people, circumstances, and events can come into your life. So true. So very true. That speaks for itself. There are no accidents or coincidences in life. This is the next point. Everything is synchronicity because everything has a frequency. It's simply the physics of life and the universe in action. Okay, next point. Think of something you love and make it your symbol of the force of love. Whenever you see your symbol or hear it, you will know that the force of love is with you. That's good. Now that's something that you can make and make it customizable for you. Think of something that you love and then think of a symbol that represents that. And every time you see that symbol anywhere, then it gives you that understanding. It gives you that feeling of love, like love is present. That's a good game to play within yourself as well. Okay. Next point, place the force of love ahead of you in everything you do. Imagine each thing in your day going well and feel love inside yourself as much as you can before you do anything. So send love before your day, before you get out of bed, before you put foot to floor. Send love to every element of your day and know that everything will go well that day. Your meetings will be successful. Your phone calls will be successful. There will be opportunities that will benefit you, benefit your projects, benefit your businesses, benefit your life. Everything is going to be phenomenal for the day. Set your day. Send love to your day and watch and see your day become even greater than what it used to. Okay. Next point, ask questions every day. When you ask a question, you are giving the question to the universe, which means you must receive the answer. So whether you're by yourself or whatever the case, know that when you ask a question of your inner self, your higher self, God, supreme being, whatever whatever your attention is focused, wherever your attention is focused, when you ask that question, you're going to get an answer. Okay. Now you might get an answer in like a still small voice within yourself. You might get an answer with a sign that you just randomly see. You might get an answer from someone that you're talking to and they may say something and it may be the very answer to your question that you stated earlier, whatever the case. But like I said earlier, being aware, making yourself a little more aware on how, on the things that are happening around you, the things that, messagings and motions and stuff. What happens is the more cultivated your ear is, or your eyesight is, or your spiritual keenness is, the more you are susceptible to receive every single answer that is trying to come to you. Because oftentimes, the universe is speaking every day, all day. But because we're so busy, right, in our day-to-day work, we're so busy running our schedules and our errands and ripping and running here and then everywhere, we miss, I would say, a good 75% of what answers are coming our way every day. Because we're oblivious to it. We're too caught up in our own schedules, our own itineraries, that we are oblivious. It's like there's us and then there's the universe, when we are all one, and everything within our dynamic is communicating with us at every single point of life. But we're missing it most times because we're too caught up in the things of this life, as opposed to being connected to the atmosphere, the universe, the planet, nature, spirit, all of those things, okay, which operates this life. You know what I mean? We get sucked up in it. So cultivate that very, very much so that you won't miss any key or pertinent information that, is trying to come your way. Answers to great problems or solutions and things like that. Okay. Next point, harness the force of love to help you with anything in your life. The force of love will be your personal assistant, money manager, personal health trainer, and relationship counselor. Okay. Love. Next point, if your mind is consumed with too many details, the details will distract you and pull you down. That is so true. Simplify your life and don't give too much importance to the little things. What difference does it make? That is a great point and an excellent question. What difference does it make? Prime example yesterday. Oh God, that's a perfect example. Yesterday, one of my other businesses, it's an edible baking business, and so we infuse our, nature infused our treats and things like that. So we had an event. It was a puff and paint, the edible version, where we had a costume contest. We had food. I prepared all of the food, all of everything, the desserts, the treats, baked goods, candies, confections, everything. I did it all, right? So in my doing so, as I went about cooking everything, and I did it all solo, right? A whole lot of food and a whole lot of time went into that, right? Energy, all of that. Okay. So there were some things because of time and all of those things. There were things that popped up, two things that popped up yesterday that I couldn't do anything about it. So I had to purge, I had to pivot, and I had to purge those things off of the list of things to do and then carry on. I did that without a flinch. Okay. Typically, I'm going to tell you something, being completely transparent, right? I when it comes down to events in times past, I'm very particular about the vision that I have for events going exactly how they were planned, right? I know all of us, if not, we wouldn't plan it that way, right? When we see something going a certain way, you know what I mean? We want it to be that way. And when things come to throw a monkey wrench, so to speak, in our plans, sometimes that could yield frustration, correct? Right? If we're being honest, come on, let's be honest now, right? I'm going to tell you, yesterday was the first time, and I am not exaggerating. Yesterday was the first time that when a hiccup came about, I did not budge. In fact, I laughed about it and I went on about the next thing. Because at the end of the day, and I'm so glad that we read this chapter last week, I read these chapters along with you all. I don't go ahead of you all because I want to get the message with you. I want to get the revelation with you, right? So last week when we went over this point here that says, if your mind is consumed with too many details, the details will distract you and pull you down. The details of the things of yesterday that could not go right and did not go as according to plan, I should say. So the right part, we can scratch that, but didn't go according to plan. Do you know that could have distracted me? That could have pulled me down to the point where the event could have been a failure, right? If I would have gotten caught up in the details. Now, the message continues to say, simplify your life and don't give too much importance to the little things. Those things yesterday were little things. They were little things that were out of my control, right? That's the thing that we get frustrated about, things that are out of our control. Why are you frustrated? It's out of your control. So the bottom line question is, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? Okay, whether I had the items or not, okay, because my menu yesterday was it was Cajun and Creole style meal. So the menu was Cajun stuffing, stuffed chicken breast, salmon bites, fried salmon bites. It was with a brown sugar glaze, fresh green beans with onions, potatoes, all of that inside, Parmesan garlic, roasted potatoes. I had honey butter cornbread. The original menu called for strawberry shortcakes individually and peaches and cream shortcakes along with sweet tea, lemonade. The only things that I was not able to prepare were the fried salmon bites and the peaches and cream desserts. They already had another dessert, the strawberry. I just wanted to be overly zealous and give them two. You know what I mean? Show my skill. You understand? So that's what it was. So one item, which was the salmon, didn't make it because I would have still been frying. Okay, it was so much fish. My goodness. So I would have still been frying. So I asked that because it would have infringed on the time spent doing other things. We already had a protein. That's why I wiped the fish off. I was like, okay, cool. We already had one other dessert. So I scratched the second one. You got to pivot. Because what difference does it make? Right. And so even with everything going on, my lower back started to hurt, but I pressed through. I even hand delivered all of the desserts myself for the people to enjoy. I did all of the work yesterday and did not get to attend my own event. You know why? Because I was too busy making it happen for the people. You understand what I'm saying? Only for, and I didn't feel any type of way about it at all. At all. I was excited by the feedback I was getting as the event was going on. Oh, people are raving about the food. They are enjoying themselves. Oh, we're having a good time. Everybody looks so nice, and they're drinking the teas and the lemonades, and they're raving about it. Chef kiss, top tier compliments, and this and that. That's it. That's all. That's all that matters. Did the people enjoy themselves? Did they have a good time? Did they eat well? Were they full? Can they take food home? All of this and the third. That was what's important. So the question from last week that made me really, 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 really apply it, like I said, I applied it immediately. Yesterday, I didn't experience one disappointment. Not one element of frustration, not one element of, resentment and fussing. No, I thoroughly had a great time doing everything that I did. And I'm so grateful that everybody else had an amazing time as well, enjoyed themselves, because that was the outcome. That and that alone was the outcome. Perfectionism, all of that stuff, that's never the outcome. So what difference does it make? If one thing doesn't go well, okay. It's okay, right? It's okay. And it was okay. All was well yesterday. So I'm glad about that. And I'm glad I learned that lesson the week before. Okay. The last point here from last week, the force of love has no opposite. There is no other power in life but love. All the negative things you see in the world are always a lack of love. That's it. Okay. All righty. So here we go. We're beginning chapter 12, you all. We're beginning chapter 12. And this chapter is entitled The Power and Life. The Power and Life. Thank you, everybody on Clubhouse, on Facebook, on YouTube who are here. We appreciate your presence. Thank you for your energy. And thank you for the shares, everybody. Thank you so very much. Okay, the power of life. Feel free, like I said, to give your feedback, your thoughts, comments, questions if you have them inside of the chat. Utilize the chat if needed, comments or whatever. If not, we're going to continue to read through, okay? A human being cannot imagine not existing. We can imagine our body not being alive, but we simply cannot imagine not existing. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's a fluke of nature? It's not. You cannot imagine yourself not existing because it's impossible for you not to exist. If you could imagine it, you could create it, and you can never create it. And you can never create it, okay? You have always existed, and you will always exist because you are a part of creation. Bhagavad Gita, okay. And the ancient Hindu text states, there has never been a time when you and I and the kings gathered here have not existed, nor will there be a time when we will cease to exist. As the same person inhabits the body through childhood, youth, and old age, so too at the time of death, he attains another body. The wise are not deluded by these changes. That is so true. So what happens when a person dies? The body doesn't go into non-existence because there's no such thing. It integrates itself into the elements. And the being that is inside you, the real you, doesn't go into non-existence either. The very word being tells you that you will always be. You are not a human being. You are an eternal being living temporarily in a human body. If you stopped existing, there would be an empty space in the universe, and the whole universe would collapse into that empty space. Wow. The only reason you can't see another being after they have left their body is that you can't see the frequency of love. You can't see the frequency of ultraviolet light either. And the frequency of love, which is the frequency they're on, is the highest frequency in creation. The greatest scientific equipment in the world cannot even come close to detecting the frequency of love. But remember that you can feel love. So if there is someone you can't see anymore, you can feel them on the frequency of love. You can't feel them in grief or despair because those frequencies are nowhere near the frequency they're on. But when you are on the highest frequencies of love and gratitude, you can feel them. They are never far away from you, and you are never separated from them. You are always connected to everything in life through the force of love. That is so true. That is so amazing, so powerful. If we really think about that, right there, if we just really sit there for a second and think about that very, very message, it would turn a lot of our sorrows into gladness and happiness and smiles. I don't know if you all are aware, but my son, I have a son. My son passed away in April 24th to be exact, 2011. Okay. He would have been 12 this year. Right. And for several years after his passing, I mourned. And it's so crazy that I was so connected to the grief and the mourning of him that without even looking at a calendar, I would know in my being, in my body, around what date it was. Because my being, my body would start to feel sad and depressed and all of those things, maybe about within the week, I would say within 5 to 6, 7 days of his actual death date. Okay. And again, without even looking at the calendar. So when I got the revelation of this right here, the element, the knowing that we are beings, regardless of whether we're physically here or in spirit, we're still being. Okay, we're still beings. So we're like this passage just said. The very word being tells you that you will always be. And that you're not a human being, which means that when you leave this body, just because the body remains and you're no longer here does not mean that the body is indicative of your existence, your life. No, not at all. Not at all. And like this stated, even the body returns to elements. It returns to dust. It returns to dirt. It's continued to go into another form. It transmutes. It goes into another element and becomes something completely different. That is the transformative motion and way of existence. It's a recycling process. It goes from one form to another, to another, to another, no matter what. And that's the brilliance of creation, right? So when I understood this message, when I understood this, I promised myself in that moment, and I promised my son that I would never mourn him another day of my life. I will never mourn my son, because to mourn something means that they are gone. My son has never gone anywhere. In fact, I've had premonitions and visions and dreams of me even bending down, hugging him running to me. How would I be able to do that if he no longer existed? You see what I'm saying? So my son is still here, yet here, never went anywhere. And in order for me to experience him, as the book just stated, I have to raise my own frequency from sorrow and grief to love, because love, in the realm and frequency of love, is where my son resides. If I want to visit my son, if I want to have mommy and son time, I have to go to the level of love where he is. I can't go below him and expect to see him or expect him to visit. He's not going to visit where he doesn't fit, where he can't get in. You know what I mean? And anything lower than love, he has no access. I have to come up to him. So that's what this says here. I just spoke to someone else, a good friend of mine from childhood, who lost his mom literally just a couple of days ago. And I conveyed this message to him as well. I understand when it first happens. Come on now, I get it. You're going to feel that way. Your human self feels that. Your human self feels the sense of loss. And because your human self is completely familiar with the body of the entity, the person that was here, so it was an attachment that was developed, right? So when the human leaves the physical, right, when the physical body no longer is alive, then of course you're going to feel some type of way, because you were attached to the fact that that person was able to be physically right there with you. But it takes you raising your frequency up to understand that that person is still and can always be right there with you, right? So I'm glad that they brought this up inside of this. Okay. All righty. The only reason you can't see the being, see anything after, is that after the person left their body, is because you can't see them on the frequency of love unless you're there. Okay. The next point, heaven is within you. Heaven is within you. Now I'm going to attempt to pronounce this name. It says Morihei Ueshiba. Morihei Ueshiba, founder of the martial arts Aikido. Okay, stated, all the principles of heaven and earth are living inside of you. All the principles of heaven and earth are living inside of you. Ancient text says that heaven is within you. And what they're talking about is the frequency of your being. When you leave your human body, you are automatically on the highest frequency of pure love, because that's the frequency of your being. In ancient times, this highest frequency of pure love is always heaven. Always heaven. Welcome, welcome, hon. Okay, the next section says, but heaven is for you to find here in this lifetime, not when your body dies. That is so true. You are to find heaven here while you're on earth. And indeed, heaven is within you, because heaven is the frequency of your being. To find heaven on earth is to live your life at the same frequency as your being, pure love and joy. That is so true, man. Having to wait, because we've been told, especially in the religious setting, you've been told that you do good here on this earth, and then when you die, you get to enjoy heaven. No. That is a misconception. You bring heaven to your current life right here by going within, connecting with your highest self, being in this world, but not of this world. When you connect to your highest self, and you get to reside where your highest self lives, you get to align with that right there. And then you bring that life of pure love. You integrate with that. You align with that. Align your physical life with your highest life. And just enjoy life. That will be your heaven on earth. That will be whatever you manifest from your purest state into this life. There is your heaven on earth. It has nothing to do with external anything. Has everything to do with you aligning with your highest self within. As within, so without. As above, so below. Okay. Next section. For the love of life. Robert Thurman, a Buddhist writer and academic, stated, the question is not really whether or not you go on, but rather, how are you going to enjoy it? You are an eternal being. You have all the time in the world to experience everything. There's no lack of time because you have forever. You have so many adventures ahead and so many things to experience. Not just adventures on Earth, but because once we've mastered Earth, we will begin new adventures in other worlds. There are galaxies, dimensions, and life that we can't even imagine now, but we will experience all of them. And we will experience them together because we are a part of creation. That's right. We are one of one. Billions of years from now, when we look out into creation for our next adventure, there will be worlds among worlds, galaxies among galaxies, and unlimited dimensions stretching out before us for all eternity. And so, do you think with all of this that perhaps you are a wee bit more special than you ever considered yourself to be? Do you think perhaps you might be a little more valuable than you thought? You, every person you know, and every person who has ever lived has no end. Don't you just want to wrap your arms around life and say thank you? Aren't you excited for the adventures ahead? Don't you want to stand on a mountaintop and cry out with joy, yes, to a never ending life? The next section, the purpose of your life. Okay. Gautama Buddha, founder of Buddhism, stated, you have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy. Yeah, I know that's right. So the only thing that you are here to do is to show gratitude and joy. You have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy. I like that. The purpose of your life is joy. And so what do you think is the greatest joy in life? Giving. If a person had told me 6 years ago that the greatest joy in life is giving, I would have said, that's fine for you to say. I'm struggling to survive and can barely make ends meet, and so I have nothing to give. The greatest joy in life is giving, because unless you give, you will always be struggling to survive. Life will be full of one problems after another. And just when you think everything is going along fine, something else will happen to throw you back into struggle and difficulty. The greatest joy in life is giving. And there's only one thing you can give: your love. Your love, your joy, your positivity, your excitement, your gratitude, and your passion are the true and everlasting things in life. All the riches in the world cannot even come close to the most priceless gift in all of creation: the love inside you. Give the best of you. Give your love, because it is the magnet to all the riches of life. And your life will become richer than you thought was possible. Because when you give love, you are fulfilling the entire purpose of your life. When you give love, you will receive back so much love and joy that you will feel it in almost more than you could take. You can come, you hold on, I'm sorry, but you can take unlimited love and joy because it's who you are. Unlimited. It says you can take unlimited love and joy because that's who you are. So there's no limit to love. Like, well, I was about to go into a whole other direction. That's another portion of my coaching ability, which is sexuality and relationship and intimacy and things like that. We can go in a whole other direction right there. Okay. There is no limit to love. I'm going to say this. I'm going to hit it and quit it real quick. Okay. We're made of love. Everything that we're in or we're about or whatever the case is of love. It's love, period, point blank. Like this book just stated, you can take unlimited love and joy because it's who you are. Why do you think we're able to love our mates, our partners, our spouses, our children, our parents, our best friends? We're able to love, the chai lattes. We're able to love bear claws. We're able to love our favorite movie, our favorite songs. We are able to show so much love, our best dog and our animals, our pets. We're able to simultaneously love everything wholeheartedly and it not take away from the love that we share to something else. Your love for your partner has never wavered or caused you to show less love to your mother. Never. Okay, which means that you have the capacity to love all fully at the same time. You know why? Because you are love. Love is you. And there's no limit to how much we can love and how many people we can love. Again, I'm just going to leave that right there. Do with that what you will. Okay? All righty then. Okay, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, a priest and philosopher, stated, "Someday, when men have conquered the winds, the waves, the tides, and gravity, we will harness for God the energies of love. And then, for a second time in the history of the world, men will have discovered fire." So that was he stated that in 1881. Okay. You came into this world with your love, and it's the only thing you can take with you. While you are here, every time you choose the positive, every time you choose to feel good, you are giving your love. And with it, you light up the world. And everything you can wish for, everything you can dream of, everything you love will follow you wherever you go. You have the greatest force in the universe within you. And with it, you will have an amazing life. The power is within you. Okay. And that it says the next page says the beginning. Okay. And that is the end of the chapter. So the points of power that go with this chapter are as follows. These are the nuggets that we take away from this chapter. Number one, you have always existed and you will always exist because you are a part of creation. The next point, every person you know and every person who has ever lived has no end. Next point, to find heaven on earth is to live your life at the same frequency as your being, pure love and joy. The next point, the greatest joy in life is giving, because unless you give, you will always be struggling to survive. Next point, your love, your joy, your positivity, your excitement, your gratitude, and your passion are the true and everlasting things in life. All the riches in the world cannot even come close to the most priceless gift in all creation, the love inside of you. Next point, give your love because it is the magnet to all the riches of life. The next point, while you are here, every time you choose the positive, every time you choose to feel good, you are giving your love, and with it, you light up the world. And she left with a note. She says, "May the power bring you love and joy for your entire existence. That is my intention for you and for the world." That is it. That is the end of this book. We have finished part 2, book 2. That's amazing, you all. Love, 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 love. I can't say it enough. That is something that here recently, I will say, has really been a focal for me personally to turn up my love. Turn up my love, even when I can have the opportunity, when I do have the opportunity and even the right to snap, to react, to do all of that stuff, man. Listen, the question, what difference does it make? Okay. Especially when you've said your piece, you've made your voice heard. It doesn't matter anything else, right? It doesn't matter. I choose how I respond. I choose how I react. I choose the words that I say. I choose the thoughts that I think. I choose my behaviors, my acts. I choose all of it. I do. No one else. Like the statements that we say, oh, you made me do. No, no, no. No one made you do anything. Just because someone else is responding and reacting or doing certain things doesn't mean that you have to. Again, what did we talk about with the frequencies? The reason that they were behaving that way with you is because there's something in you that has to be checked. Listen, law of attraction, like attracts like. So it's going to find itself. That frequency is going to find itself. Now, every time someone is cutting up around you or whatever the case, yes, it is a gravitational pull or a magnet or a mirror reflecting something that is in you. However, you don't have to give into it every time. You can learn the lesson, change the behavior, and I guarantee you that thing will no longer be on your frequency. You will have, at that moment of choosing love, you will have raised your frequency, and now that thing will no longer be a part of your frequency match. You understand? So I got that point. When I got that point, I started to change what I was emitting and what frequency and vibration I was on. Because knowing that you are the thermostat, you are not anybody else. It's you and you alone. That's accountability. That's what that is. That is accountability. That is being responsible for self and what comes to self, what draws to self. What am I magnetizing? What am I asking for? You know what I mean? What is coming to me that I am asking for, not even by way of words, by my thoughts, by my actions, by my behaviors, by my feelings. What am I asking for? What am I drawing to me? Right? So that's accountability. That's taking a look within. That is introspection that we need to do often, daily, actually. Daily, So when we do that, then we change the way that we emit, that we give into the atmosphere of the universe, and then therefore, it's law. It changes the response that we get. The things that come to us. I am eager to do that and turn my love up even more. Okay, now, you all. Now we are next week going into book 3. That is the magic. This is the secret series, book 3. The magic is the easiest, fastest way to change your life. The magic. Okay. So if you all need your book, we always have a PDF copy of the books that we're about to embark on and that we're reading for you and available at any point. It's only a $5 seed. Okay. Yes, these platforms that we are viewing on are free, but the me being able to operate these simultaneously is not. Okay. So not only that, I'm very consistent. I come on here twice a week and we hold our sessions twice a week. Okay. So when you sow your $5 seed for your book, then you're pouring into the operations of what we do. Okay. Trust and believe. My seeds that go into my soil, they yield a great return. You better believe that. Okay. Alrighty. So look, the magic. If you need that copy of that book, then inbox me, back channel me with your email address, and I'll get it over to you ASAP. Okay. Because I want you to have and be equipped with the things that you need before we meet at our next session. Now, we're scheduled to meet on Tuesday, but anytime that we have a new book and we're introducing a new book, we always give a break and we begin clean on a Sunday. We always begin our book readings on a Sunday. Okay. So next Sunday, we are not going to be doing anything on Tuesday. Next Sunday, we'll be meeting back here 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 Central, and 2 Pacific. Okay. So next time when we come back on Sunday, we'll be here in the magic. All right. Again, get your books, inbox me, back channel me, email me your information. You can do that by way of, if you're going to email me now on Clubhouse, all of the information is above my head on my website, or it's in my bio. So you can feel free. You have multiple places which you can go and see where to get that. Okay. Now on Facebook and YouTube, my email address is on the screen. Okay. It is at info@BiancaMissBlee.com. Okay. Or you can visit my website. Again, Clubhouse is right above my head. Go there. Not only can you go there and contact me or send me an email, but you can also go there and shop. There's merchandise. There's purpose wear. Purpose wear by Miss B is also available on Walmart.com as well. But you'll get it much faster if you go directly through me. I promise you that. Okay. But it is available on Walmart.com for those who want to go over there. There's more items on my website as well that Walmart does not have. Okay. But go to the website. You can order those items. You can get some books. You can sign up for services and courses and sessions and things like that. I am a licensed and certified master life and purpose coach, as well as a cognitive behavioral therapist. So whatever I do is always going to be pertaining to either your purpose, your passion, your mental and emotional health, your spiritual health. I am a spiritual teacher and guide. So all of those things, you'll see everything that I do and that I offer and that I can help you with on the website. Okay. Feel free to go there and find out everything that you need to find out, but get your book. Okay. Also, follow me on social media, you all. On Instagram, Dr. Bianca Miss B Lee. Facebook, same, Dr. Bianca Miss B Lee. And YouTube, Dr. Bianca Miss B Lee. I am on Twitter at Bianca Miss B Lee. If you want to go there, I'm barely on there because Twitter is a little chaotic for me. So if you want to follow anything that I'm doing, matter of fact, yes, follow everything that I do. You'll see more on Facebook. You'll see more on Instagram, but mainly Facebook because I can get my post off and all of those things. I always do the planetary transits. I always do the zodiacal signs and things like that. All of that stuff. So you don't want to miss that. Go there and follow, turn on the notifications and all of those things. Okay. You all listen. As you already know, oh my goodness. I love you. I do. I love you. I mean it. There's absolutely, positively nothing that you can do about it. Don't you even try it. We will be back here next Sunday with our new book, The Magic, you all. I'm so excited. We're moving through these so quickly. And I love how the chapters are set up. She has an amazing way to format her books that I just might adopt. And that's giving the key points at the very end of each chapter that people can kind of mull over and walk away with, kind of meditating on those points. I love that. It helps a lot. But in any case, you all, again, I love you. I mean it. There's absolutely, positively nothing you can do about it. Don't you even try it. We will see you all back here on next Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at Divine Femininity United. Okay. Peace.